results. It's like, oh yeah, infant mortality happens. Well, no, it doesn't have to. And so what we did was we quantified the damage that was being done by that in terms of delay of release and also in terms of just inefficiency. What percentage of the test team's time was being squandered, and how many dollars did this cost? And as a result of that assessment, this motivated them to do a number of things, one of which was a complete total overhaul of the test environments and the way the test environments were managed. So, this was a matter of just getting traction by calling people's attention to the pain. The pain was already there. It's just that nobody felt it, and nobody felt that there was a way around it. So, by putting a dollar figure on this stuff, it really gets people's attention. Now, let's see. Question via email. Are you saying in this presentation that test automation is stupid? Or is it just that using a particular tool is stupid? No, I'm actually not saying either of those things, and I'm glad to clarify that. I think automation is smart when it's done properly, when it's driven by a smart strategy and it has measurable return on investment targets attached to it. I think that automation is very smart. Particularly fond of automation of unit testing included in a continuous integration, regression test type of harness. Wrote an article on that called Mission Made Possible that's also out on the website if you're curious about how that works. So automation is smart. What's dumb is either using the wrong tool because you're not rigorous in your tool selection process and you get talked into basically buying a hammer to put screws in the wall, or trying to do automation without a strategy. Just assuming we're going to spend $500,000 on tools and something good will happen. It won't. Let's see, another question via email. I've done some of these things, and I'm going to stop now, but I'm sure that there are other stupid things that we might be doing. How does an assessment work? What is the process? Well, generally speaking, and the way that RBCS assessment works and the way that I think most assessments work is there's a combination of prep work, looking at documents and other work products produced by the test team or other parts of the organization, and interviews of the various key participants and stakeholders in the test process, and then finally analysis of the data. And out of those three things should come some sort of measurement of how the test team is doing with respect to the chosen measurement framework. This would be critical testing processes or one of the other three that I mentioned, and plus some prioritized set of recommendations, and again, hopefully prioritized via pain metrics of some kind or another. This whole process typically, when we do it per site, takes about a week of on-site, and it's about a week of analysis and prep and so forth associated with it. So it's not terribly time-consuming or terribly expensive to have a consultant do it. It's not terribly time-consuming or difficult to do it yourself either. Let's see. A question from Kirby here. What if you find yourself in QA without having been involved in the process from the beginning? How do you rescue the situation? Well, the short answer, Kirby, is you can't. To assure quality, you would have to, from the beginning of the process, be involved in ensuring that the processes that were used minimize the risk of problems escaping from that step of the process to the next. To the extent that you can't do that, then you're not really assuring quality. You're getting into an assessment of quality mode at the end. And as I said, there is nothing wrong with that. But what's wrong is with the mismatch in expectations between what people want you to do, assure quality, make sure we don't have any bugs when we ship, versus what you actually can do, which is just assess the quality at the end. I have a question here from Satguru Anand. Hi there, the new ISTQB advanced courses cannot be taken online. Please arrange to take it online. So Satguru, I'm not sure what the issue is. I'm assuming you're talking about RBCS's ISTQB e-learning courses. Please send an email to info@rbcs-us.com and let us know what the problem is. If maybe you're having a problem with registering or having a problem with your account, but let us know and we'll get that fixed immediately. Because yes, all the ISTQB Foundation and Advanced courses are up there and they're operable, so we can solve this problem. Shakira asks, is there a way to get a copy of the presentation? Shakira, I assume you joined late because I mentioned this at the beginning. It is at www.rbcs-us.com on the basic library page. So feel free, as I said, to download it. And if you like it, share the link to other people, please. Question from Jay Miller. When will your book, Beautiful Testing, be available? Well, just to clarify, it's not my book. It's a book, I contributed to this book. It's being published by O'Reilly. It's got a number of chapters from a number of various people involved in testing. I believe it will be out in early fall, as I understand it. I would go out to the O'Reilly website, which I'm afraid I don't know the URL off the top of my head, and take a look there and see if it's listed for coming. But it should be a good book. There's a lot of interesting contributors there. Any recommendations for books/papers on how to measure metrics and what to measure? That's from Albert. Good question. So obviously I've got some discussion about success criteria for testing in my book, Critical Testing Processes, and in addition in my other book, Advanced Software Testing Volume 2, the one about test management, it talks about metrics for success of a test team and what to measure. Now in general, there are three types of things that you're going to want to look at as a test professional from a metrics point of view. There's the product metrics. Now this is quality in use, as the phrase goes. This is looking at customer satisfaction and field failure rates and those kind of things of, what was the ultimate quality delivered from a customer's perspective. There are project metrics, which are basically looking at how close are we to done in terms of release for this project? Bug find, fix curves, and test completion percentage and that kind of good stuff. And then there's also process metrics, and that's actually what I was focused on here, is adopting a set of metrics for your process, your test process, and things like defect detection effectiveness. What percentage of the defects do you find? Defect detection efficiency, which can be measured through your cost of quality. What is the cost of finding a defect in test compared to the cost of finding a defect in the field? In other words, how much money do you offer the organization the opportunity to save every time you find a bug? That basically what you want to do for your process metrics is define your goals, objectives of your organization, and then define for those the ways in which you would know whether you were meeting those goals or not, the key questions that you would need to be able to answer to know whether you were meeting those goals. And then from that, the metrics that would measure them would follow. And,